In 2025, the BFBs reviewed 70 TV shows and movies. Whether our writers were drawn to overdue sequels, moral quandaries amidst a murder mystery, or generation-defining blockbusters, the stories this past year provided something for everyone. Here are our picks for the best movies of 2025. My access to major films having been distorted by geography, I wasn't sure what all I'd managed to see by the time this year's movie calendar came to a close. I saw some exceptional documentaries, which I'd be inclined to highlight if I hadn't already featured them in writing on the website, and entries from international auteurs whom I strongly admire. Shout out to Joachim Trier and Jafar Panahi. However, when I was forced to confront the thematics of 2025 that stuck with me the most, I wound up coming back to a sequel in what may seem to some as a silly franchise, Knives Out. Now, I've been on the Josh O'Connor bandwagon since God's Own Country, but his work since then has progressively floored me. How one cannot chortle at his Mr. Elton and Emma, succumb to his scumminess in Challengers, or rub their temples at his idiocy in Kelly Reichardt's The Mastermind is beyond me. But his best performance, and my favorite of this year, is his role as the ethical Father Judd in Wake Up Deadman. Rian Johnson's visual flair and on-the-nose politics don't always jive with me, but his most recent murder mystery finds a pitch-perfect tone in the secluded New England church, where modernized outsiders flock to find solace in a highly classical setting. There are still a myriad of asinine, campy elements in the movie, but O'Connor's performance brings humanity, particularly during a pivotal scene where even the filmmaking seems surprised to find itself slowing down. His phone conversation with a random grieving woman is a raw moment in an otherwise elaborate Gothic product, and one that I've been mulling over again and again since watching. Wake Up Deadman is just as fun as it is thoughtful, and I can't help but feel like I'm destined to revisit it again and again.
Den of Thieves 2 was such an underrated gem from 2025. Its vibe was so unexpectedly placid and laid back, and it really gave us a lot of time for Gerard Butler and O'Shea Jackson Jr. to develop this really lovely bromance. I really think this is the best performance of Gerard Butler's career. The climactic heist at the end of the movie is restrained and delightfully tactile. By the time things end, you've watched a movie that I can only describe as wistful. I recently picked it up on DVD and rewatched it with the director's commentary, which marks the third time that I've seen it, and it's just so wonderful to listen to the director Kristen Gudegast and the crew elaborate on the level of care and craft which many will overlook in this movie if they watch it at all. So Den of Thieves 2, check it out.
What if, instead of a union, a couple chose to celebrate their separation? In the other way around, Volveréis. Spanish director Jonás Trueba transforms a deceptively simple premise for a breakup dramedy into a profound meditation on closure. The film follows Ale and Alex, a couple of 15 years who decide to throw a reverse wedding to mark their mutual split. As they break the news to a revolving door of skeptical friends and family, Trueba captures the breezy bittersweet rhythm of a late summer, using lovely exteriors to ground a narrative that is increasingly interested in its own construction. But beneath the lively conversations lies a brilliant bit of formal playfulness. As the soon-to-be former partners navigate the new reality, we discover Ale is actually editing the very film you are watching in real time. It underlines how fiction, more specifically cinema, functions as a tangible intermediary to process raw human emotion. Whether it's the quiet power of a modest audition scene or the imprecise, non-linear way the characters grow, the film avoids straightforward catharsis at every turn. In the end, it's a sophisticated reminder that after so much life, a starting point can look exactly like an ending. All that's left to do is cherish what's behind and dance toward the new beginning.
Only one movie from 2025 has consistently stayed top of mind for me, and that movie is One Battle After Another. Paul Thomas Anderson's 10th film in 20 years is surely one that will stand out in his catalog in years to come. The greatest thrill of One Battle is not the heavy-duty weapons, the anxiety-inducing chase scenes, or even the menacing supervillain that is the US government. The greatest thrill is knowing that every aspect of the film was practiced to perfection, and that even the smallest of details were tended to with great care. From something as big as the ending, which was rewritten to better utilize the hilly landscape, to something as small as former SNL writer Jim Downey's hilariously ridiculous performance as a Christmas adventurer, this film was clearly made by people who love and understand film. One Battle simultaneously feels timely and timeless. It inspires, it commiserates, it can even make you laugh when the world is falling apart at the seams. So please join me in raising a few small bills to One Battle After Another.
When I listen to the older people in my life talk about how incredible it was to see Star Wars for the first time, or how they remember the seat they were in when the credits came up on Jurassic Park, I get this immediate pang of jealousy. It's a jealousy that stems from living through a mainstream cinema whose primary market objective lies in reviving those franchises without trying to surpass the originals. In 30 years, I will be able to tell someone that I saw Ryan Coogler's Sinners on opening day and that I remember exactly where I sat, and I think they'll feel that same pang of jealousy. Coogler's bravura blockbuster is everything I want big studio filmmaking to be, and I knew it instantly. His vision is bold, as clear as day. There's an intentional scale that knocked me out the first time and the second time and on and on. The joy I get from every scene is unmatched from any movie this year, and I can't wait to revisit for years to come. An ending like that is worth the price of 80 admissions. What a movie. What a picture.
This month marks 6 years for the Buffed Film Buffs. To longtime subscribers, we thank you for your support. If you have any feedback for how we can better cater to your film interests, please let us know in the comments down below or by emailing buffedfilmblog@gmail.com. We are glad to have you by our side as we make inroads on the global cinematic community. We'll see you at the movies.